Is there any worse feeling in the world than feeling like you're behind in life? Meanwhile, everyone else around you is progressing, they're posting their life on social media, it's looking like they're completely crushing it, having kids, new jobs, moving up. In this video, I want to give us a brutal reality check. Okay, this is not negative, this is not attacking you, but this is something in my early 20s when I uttered the words, I don't have the time. Once I saw this, it was seen for the first time. We're gonna geek out on a few numbers here, so stay with me. And then I wanna walk over 5 distractions that you need to cut out. If you remove these 5 things from your life, you don't have to go and get more time, you'll just naturally have it. Starting with the good news is you have 24 hours in a day. 8,736 hours a year is what we're working with. Most people work 40 hours a week, but let's just say, to be safe with commute time and meals, you're working 50 hours a week, okay? That is 2,600 hours a year that you're working. All right, excuse the whiteout. Already made the first mistake. 29% of your life, 2,600 hours is work. But Clark, I gotta sleep. I can't just work all the time. Let's say you're sleeping 8 hours a night. 33% of your life is spent sleeping. Now notice something. There is a massive gap here, and it's also the biggest section, isn't it? Well, what is that time? That's your time. Even if you're working 50 hours a week and you're doing pristine beauty sleep of 8 hours a night, you still have this biggest section that is yours. 38% of your entire life is yours. Roughly 3,319 hours a year. They say it takes 10,000 hours to become world class at something, a skill. Like when you look at violinists who are playing at the top symphonies, right? They have roughly 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to get there. 10,000 hours is a profession, to be able to teach it at a world-class level. Athletes, etc., of active training. You have 3,300 hours every single year if you work a full-time 50-hour-a-week job, if you're sleeping 8 hours a night. In 3 years, you could be world-class at something. I know most of you have watched people online have their blow up in 3 years. Well, that could be you if you just use this better. This is the main point of this video, and this is the mantra I want you to instill in your head. And this is the shot of tough love. Lack of time is lack of priorities. P-R-I-O-R. There might be an extra I or T in there. Lack of time is lack of priorities. That is the main point in the mantra you have to say to yourself. So if you're sitting on the sidelines feeling like you're wasting your life, we've already established that we all have the same 8,736 hours a year. You, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, the person online that you're watching, no matter who you want to compare it to, you have the same amount of time. Now, I know what people are screaming right now. Some might have even typed a comment before I had time to give this disclaimer. I don't have 38%. I have kids. I have family obligations. That's true. You do. But here's the brutal truth. Are you going to let them be your excuse? I think that that's one thing that holds so many people back is, well, I'm sacrificing myself just for my kids. Well, wouldn't you want your kids to see you being the best actualized version of yourself to build your dreams? What a better role model would that be? Instead of having this pseudo resentment towards them, oh, I sacrificed my dreams for you. That's so unfair to them. And I'm not saying you have to spend all 38% and 3,000 hours a year just for yourself, neglect your kids, but what I am saying is that maybe there's 1,000 in here that you can spend towards yourself. Maybe if you structure your day and you stop doing the distractions, which we'll talk about, that you could get some of this time back, and it's not like you need more time, it's that you just need to use more of your time for you. So in the next part of this video, I want to go over the 5 things that are robbing you of these 3,000 hours. These are termites that are eating away your house. You don't notice them, they don't seem like a big deal, but dude, compounded over the course of a year, they're literally eroding away all 3,000 of your hours. You know it's getting real if we're taking a seat. So these are the 5 things that I would go towards if you feel like you're saying, I don't have the time. The very first thing I would look at is your screen time. Man, this is the easiest way to waste your life and take away your 3,000 hours. I'll do this with you. I'm not above this. My screen time is 3 hours a day, between 3 and 4 hours a day. Now that's a lot in my opinion. Now it's YouTube, fitness tracking, etc. But I don't utter the words I don't have time. I never use that excuse. If you are someone who's uttering the words I don't have time, then look at your screen time and honestly say, like, where are my top distractions? The place I would look is social media, okay? Because I don't think that like watching YouTube videos and scrolling on Instagram or TikTok are the same. Call me crazy, you can debate this, you can argue with me, that's fine. This is my opinion. When you're watching like YouTube videos, I feel like you're educating, they're longer form. Like you had to sit down and watch this, you're engaging with it. When you're looking at photos and short form content, man, I feel like that just depletes you. And your dopamine just gets so jacked up. You're seeing minimum 60 pieces of content an hour. If you know anything about like topic switching, context switching, that's very hard. And it simulates in every single person ADHD. So like, bouncing around, I can't focus. Well, of course you feel distracted and drained if we're just like on social media all day doing this. I think the real drain of particularly Instagram and social media platforms, ones that you're following people on and engaging that you know, are that it causes you to compare your life. And that's the thing that makes you feel like you're wasting it. People, do they post the low moments? Do they post the raw and the real? No, it's all curated and edited, and it's disastrous towards mental health. Studies are coming out and the data is not looking good, especially towards developing women, teenagers. It's terrible, the rise in anxiety and depression from social media. For me, and take an inventory with yourself, where I feel most drained is when I'm on Instagram and I'm watching stories of people who like you met at a music festival 10 years ago and like you're still in their daily life, like they're taking up headspace that's disproportionate to their role in your current life, you know what I mean? And so one day I just like cleaned house, I deleted Instagram and TikTok. And that was really good. I got a lot of time back, but more importantly, I got a lot of energy back. And I think you'll feel like you're comparing less when you follow less people and spend more time there. Spend less time there, I should say. Real quick, if you're someone who's looking to reinvent yourself, create the 2.0 you in 10 weeks, I'll link down below our Metamorphic program. We've helped 850 people just like you go from just, kind of passively watching YouTube videos to really putting in the work and getting the results they want. No pressure, but if you're into that, I'll link down below where you can learn more. The number 2 way you can get some of your hours back and feel like you're not wasting your life is focusing on not necessarily the time, but the energy that you're spending. When you say, I don't have the time, we just showed you a lot of times you do. But now knowing that, you're like, yeah, but I'm tired. That's good data right there. That, oh, okay, I do have time at the end of the day when I'm coming home from work to go to the gym, but yeah, I'm drained. I don't have the freaking energy to do that. Wonderful, that's good data right there. So it's not the time excuse, it's the energy excuse. That's a very different situation. Can you clean up your diet? Can you focus on optimizing your 33% of life that you're sleeping? Can you increase your sleep and find that that actually gives you more energy and you're more productive that way? Can you get out and take a walk? Get sunlight, do some breath work, hydrate more. You focus on your energy instead of time management, and I promise you, you'll feel like you have more time. Number 3, let's talk about productivity. It's a hot take, it's my personal opinion. Stop trying to be productive. Ditch all the productivity advice out there. Stop tracking every little thing. Stop using all these mental gymnastic tricks to try and force yourself to do things. Look, I think a lot of productivity advice is straightening deck chairs on the Titanic. It's literally doing nothing. And I notice that the same people obsessed over productivity are the same ones complaining about burnout. It's because a lot of times you don't actually need productivity advice. You need focusing advice. Those are very different things. You don't have to be productive 16 hours a day if you're doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing first. Like, here's a selfish example. I've struggled with this immensely. And I tried all the productivity advice, right? Like I tried to make to-do lists and time block my day in like 15-minute increments. I tracked an entire month down to like the 5-minute mark once. And I was like trying to optimize things and put them in buckets and see which bucket was taking the most time and trying to reduce. It was so stressful, and I actually created less. There's also good creativity advice that if you want to be an artist and like be more creative, be less productive. Some of my best ideas came around when I was sitting around bored doing nothing. Boom, inspiration hits. I have an idea for a video. I have an idea for a module in our coaching program. That's when the real good stuff happens. View your 3,000 hours as not just busy work that you're cramming into them. That's what a lot of people are doing. Is like how much productivity advice is just filling your life with busy work. You're compensated for your results and nothing more when it's for you. Maybe at a work environment, you have to like look busy and fill it up. That's a different story, but I'm talking like your life right here. Don't have this looming, overwhelming guilt around you that like, I have to be productive, I have to be working. You don't buy into this like guilt hustle culture of 16 hours plus a day. You're gonna be more productive. Talking about doing the work is not doing the work. Thinking about doing the work is not doing the work. Telling people you're gonna do the work is not doing the work. Doing the work is doing the work. Next drain that makes you feel like you're wasting your life is being obsessed with current events and the news. The news and current events are nothing more than okay gossip magazines. If something major happens in the world, you will know. And people use the excuse, well, I like to be informed. But like, dude, if you honestly added up the amount of time and energy you give towards things that do not affect you, towards other countries that you've never even visited, and their politics and what is going on, it is absurd how much of our life gets spent here. Now, if you're someone who's like, dude, objectively in my 3,000 hours, I like being informed. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And I know that it's more entertainment and I'm choosing to allocate time there. That is different, and I'm not here to judge. But at least it's a choice. It's not something you're mindlessly consuming or getting sucked into through fear, doom, and gloom. I don't think everything needs to be politicized. Call me crazy. But if you want to waste your life, literally get sucked into a political cult for multiple years and feel like you're doing something, to me, that's a waste of life. It's the opportunity cost of where could that time be going towards building something constructive for you. And now that everything's politicized and we open our phone, like you're literally bringing that person, that event into your bed with you. Like you're literally in bed consuming like all this negativity. Or you're at dinner with your partner and like when they get up to use the bathroom, you pull out your phone and check it. Like that political news is right there at dinner with you guys. And again, this used to be just the annoying coworker or someone who like, your uncle at Thanksgiving who has a hot take or whatever. But now it's like that person, you're bringing them around with you, letting them in your ear. Hey, did you hear what's happening in that country? Hey, what do you think about what the last president's doing right now? Pull the plug. You'll be happier for it, I promise. You're not gonna miss out on anything. And if something big happens, you'll hear about it. This last one is really practical. Let's just say you are someone who's at the higher up levels of your career and you still have this feeling like there's not enough hours in the day. You can buy back your time. Figure out how much are you worth an hour and what are the things you're doing around your house that are worth less than that. Or just thinking like, what do you not like spending your time on? If you hate cleaning your house or apartment, can you hire someone every other week for $100 or $200 to clean it? Is that worth it for you? If you're someone like me and my girlfriend here, we're Costco members. I love that store. I'm embarrassed to say this, but like I spend like $700 every other week there. So much to the point of where I go and they're like, sir, can you come talk to us? You spend a lot of money here. Do you want to upgrade to the executive membership? I'm like, I thought I was in trouble, dude. Give me a heart attack in Costco. They do delivery though. And so for like a year or two, we would just get free delivery from Costco. It wasn't even more. It was literally free if you ordered over $35 worth. And so that whole like hour of going there, shopping around, coming back, unloading it out of the car, checking out, paying for it, putting it in your house, you just cut all of that down on a Saturday. You don't have to do that. You can enjoy time out with friends, or whatever you want to use that for. So that's an easy example of buying back your time. You just get an extra hour right there. In business, this is hiring an employee. If someone can do something not as good as you, but close to it, and you give the job to them, that is a whole world of time and energy you just got back. Buying back your time is really buying back your energy. And man, if you feel like you're wasting your life and things are out of control, what better use for money than literally paying for speed? So those are the 5 things that are robbing your 3,000 hours and making you feel like you're wasting your life. The news, ditching politics, not bringing it in the house with you, managing your energy, not your time, productivity advice that makes you feel guilty any second you're resting and trying to recharge, buying back your time whenever possible, and eliminating distractions that you frequently use that are sucking that time from you. I hope this video was helpful and useful for you. I hope it was eye-opening. Love ya. Thanks so much for being here. Stop settling, start living. See you in the next one. Peace.